G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. In this episode I'm going to be showing you how I build this window surround out of polystyrene. And this is what my inspiration. It's a bank in Gawler, SA, and it's how I want the exterior of my house to look. And at the end I'm going to just be doing a little bit of wood graining to show you. So as I briefly mentioned, I've made these mouldings out of polystyrene. So it was really easy to do. I cut the bulk of the shape on the bandsaw, and then I made up these special tools with a bit of coarse sandpaper on it to put all the shapes on there. So I can go into more detail if anyone would like to see how I made them, and I can make another video, there's no problems. I got excited and I shaped them all up, and I didn't have my camera at work with me when I did it, so I can definitely do that if anyone's interested in seeing it. So I've got a lot more windows to go, so there's plenty of opportunities to make that video. So I made it up firstly on the bench here, so those pieces of blue board are the actual bits I'll use, and I cut everything to shape, just easily cut just with an angle grinder, and yeah, got that to make sure I liked it before I even tried to put it on the window. So I've cut up some bits of timber here. Now this timber is 14 millimeters thick, so it's just over half an inch, and I put these battens on the brickwork so that I could pack it out a little bit. So I wanted a thickness of 20 mil on the edges, and then obviously it wraps around into the reveal. So yeah, just built it out a little bit because the 6 mil of the blue board just wasn't going to give me enough definition. So put these on, and then I've used liquid nails to glue the blue board on and just hit it in with some clouts. Now these galvanized clouts are about 25 mil thick, and they'll go into the brickwork a little bit and into that top lintel, which it actually did no problem, so that was good. I thought I may have had a problem, but I didn't. So yeah, just put all those bits on with plenty of liquid nails on the joints, and yeah, just basically everywhere, just as you can see, buttered it right up. So clearly I didn't want this to move. I mean, you wouldn't want to. It's going to be rendered, so I'll get cracks if there's any movement, and that was my train of thought. Get plenty of glue on there and make sure that it's solid. So I think with the amount of liquid nails on there, that's not going to be going anywhere. So then I made a bit of a sill up. Now this sill's made of hardwood, so if it does get some moisture over the years, it's gonna last for a hell of a long time. But it's not gonna get, I don't think it's gonna get any moisture in there, because it's all gonna be covered in blue board, and it's gonna, all the corners are gonna be sealed up, and I'm gonna make sure that there's plenty of render over the top of the blue board to get this sealed up. I'm sealing all the corners up with liquid nails also, so that'll stop any water that does manage to get through a hairline crack in the render. So just cutting the bits of blue board to size. So easy to cut this stuff, especially those shears there. They were a bit stiff to start with, so I gave them a bit of oil, and yeah, hey presto, cut like butter. So same thing, just glue and nail these on. And I've got to make up a new sill. As you can see, that sill's the wrong angle and it doesn't go where I want it to go. So I just worked out how big it had to be with a bit of scrap and cut that to size. And then I worked out roughly what the angle looked like and just transferred that over. So surprisingly I got it on the first go, which was pretty awesome. So there we go, so same thing, liquid nails and some clouts along the front edge. And just cut those last little bits. The bit of blue board that I had it had a big crack through it, so I lost some of the length, but you know, the blue board is quite good. You can flush that up like plasterboard, and yeah, it's especially being glued on and so solid, there shouldn't be any movement ever in that. So just cutting my front. Now that's got to drop down in the middle, so had to get fancy. Need a bit of a bench, so there's a bucket down there. Now I haven't as yet put those end pieces on. It's just because I've been doing this job after work each night, and I didn't want to go and set up a bench. I just wanted to get in and do it. So the little gap there I just filled up with expandable foam, and the multi-tool is excellent for trimming that up. So gave that a trim up. I also trimmed off a bit of the dags from the render that I'd dropped. Now this moulding, I'm just gluing it on. There is stuff I've seen on YouTube videos called Polybond, but I don't believe it's available here in Australia. So I'm using stuff called T-Rex. So it says it can bond anything to anything, and this one was a 1 second bond. So it was excellent for what I had to do. You might notice that moulding's a little bit short off the window. I'm going to fill that in. I'm going to put some expandable foam there and shape that up, and then I'll put a little bit of render over the top of it. So I didn't mention, I got off my train of thought earlier on. So the moulding was layered up. It was double-sided tape together, and then I put blue fiberglass tape, mesh tape over the outside of it, and then I rendered it. So now the rendering, it's not, if you buy this stuff from a factory, it comes dead smooth, and they have a special machine that lays it on and scrapes it off. I haven't got that, so what am I going to do here? So I made the render mix quite thin, and I brushed on 3 coats, and after having those 3 coats on, it was hard as rock. You couldn't get any, you couldn't push your thumb into it at all. So yeah, I was quite happy with that, and it's going to have a bit more on it once I get all this on. Now I'll tell you something about this blue mesh tape I'm putting on here. I did think I would put it on all the corners, and it'll help to just give something for the render to bite into in the corners, but it ended up falling off, so I ended up pulling all that off, and I'm just rendering the gaps up as you probably normally would. So yeah, now this, I've never done this before. This is all something that I had a look one day while I was working on YouTube for polystyrene mouldings. I saw how they were made in a factory, and I worked out how I could make it just with the tools I had. So yeah, it wasn't too hard. It was actually quite easy, and it didn't take very long at all. So I was quite happy with that. So just putting some external beads on around the corners here, so I've got something for the render to stick to. So that wasn't too bad. That top piece is curved, so I just cut a few slots in it, and that allowed it to bend where it needed to be. So I pushed it up tight, and I just nailed these on with the same clouts that I used previously. Now I haven't finished this window complete as yet because I got rained out. So here in Adelaide we have had constant rain for the last day and a half, and we're expecting one more day and then it should fine up. So the weekend I should be able to get this finished, but I wanted to get this video out to you, so I thought I would just get in and put up what I've got. I thought you'd enjoy seeing this. It's quite an interesting little job, and it's something that I've been really excited to get in and do. So rendering it is a little bit challenging, a lot of different faces, and you're dealing with vertical things and a lot of sort of little ins and outs, and I made it work. I did it like I was flushing gyprock, but I know how to do that, so yeah, I'll learn how to do some better rendering later on in the project, but for the moment that did the job. So I've once again thinned down the render to a paintable mixture, and I'm brushing that on and it's filling up all the little cracks. I'm just going over it with a scraper to really just push that render into the tiny gaps and square everything up, because I don't want to round everything off. It needs to look nice and crisp. So yeah, I just painted this on. I've only done the top bit. I haven't got down to those side mouldings as yet. But actually I've just found another product which I'm probably going to swap over to, and that'll be the blue board jointing cement. So yeah, I'm gonna have a go at brushing that on. It's a little bit finer, and I think that'll be even better than what I'm doing there. So can I ask you guys, if you're enjoying this video, please give me a thumbs up. It's really important to for YouTube to be able to promote this video and other content of mine, and if you could give it a thumbs up, we just might find YouTube getting me out to a bigger audience, which would be really awesome. It's really what the end goal is for me, of course. So yeah, thanks very much, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think of this. It's an interesting job. I think it's quite enjoyable for you guys to watch. So yeah, leave me a comment. That'd be great. Alright guys, so I thought I'd throw in a bit of this wood graining in the entry, just for your amusement. So I'm doing the third layer now on this process. So the first one is the light brown colour that you'll see down the bottom on the upright pieces. Then the second layer is the mission brown that you lay on, you coat the whole thing, and then you wood grain it, and it takes off and leaves some of that lighter red colour showing. And then you go over it with a toner, which gives it the richness and makes it pop. So this toner is just some stain in with a clear varnish. It is a matte finish, so it won't stay glossy. You can see a bit on the right there that's already done. So it will go matte like that, which is, I think, pretty much perfect for what I want for this. So yeah, I just thought I'd throw this in here for you to have a look at and see how it looks. So look at that, doesn't that look great? So that'll pretty much be the end of the video, guys. Just a short one today, but I was keen to show you the progress on the window. So don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. That would be really great, and I look forward to getting another video out to you. See you on the next one. Cheers.